Huh?
Can you start talking, give me some mic checks, please?
We are making a New York strip with cowboy butter. It's a butter that's going to make you want to lick your screen. And then we are making tacos arrachera. If you don't know what arrachera is, it's going to make you the Mexican street food you've ever had. Arrachera means skirt steak, flank steak on the grill. Wait, no, it's like if he knows. Yeah, okay, so we are going to season our New York strip. Speaking of New York strip, what makes a great New York strip? We want a fat cat. We want to look for large, okay, let me, look for large membrane. We want to look for a decent amount of marbling. That we're going live. He knows. They just. You want to pee? He might need to poop though. Oh, okay. Well, then it's not that. Our stuff actually came in, which is good. Jalapenos, peppers.
I think we're good. You working for you?
Oh, Vicky, what I wanted on the newsletter is announcing that we're live streaming. Yeah. That's what it was. Remember, you were like, you wanted to add something to the, yes, a long time ago they told us that we had to be sharing whatever at the bottom of the newsletter is whatever, like whether it's city cruises, whatever we're up to, that is our database of sharing the projects, lives. Go ahead, lives. Whether it's the life, going to GMA, going to, go ahead, you can tell. The good boy. Okay. Look how nuts you look, Christopher. He looked nuts. Okay. Thank you. Wait, so we are live right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just keep talking. I'm gonna keep checking.
okay. Yes. Okay, so are making New York strips that are seared in tallow with cowboy butter. Cowboy butter is definitely a compound butter that's going to make you want to lick your screen. Butter, citrus, herbs, garlic, some smoked paprika, a little Dijon mustard for some heat. You hear me good? Is that good sound? Mike? No? Yes? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay. Very simple.
Sorry. Make sure it's not.
Gotcha, you're super delayed. Heard. Okay. We have this inside joke, Vicky, that Benjamin waits for us to either sit down to watch a movie or something like this for him to play with all the squeaky toys. All of them. Huh? Oh, yeah. Stop talking about me. I know what you're. Hey, boss. Oh. Oh, gotcha. Hold on. Hey, it's your dad.
Yeah. I know I'm looking and trying to fix it right now. I'm not sure why it's cutting off like that. I see it like. I'm gonna look it up, fix this. No, can I do the weak wires? Like they don't do that. Like they're too flimsy of wires.
This one's gonna stay here. That's for the next recipe.
Leave it as is. My phone, yeah.
Really? Hey.
Don't go over there with the microphone. We're gonna leave
Yeah.
the microphone on.
Okay.
Because the signal's very flimsy, you know.
Oh, so that's what's happening? Are we not being able to see it on the TV or like yesterday or the other day, I mean?
I can put it on the TV in a second.
Okay.
I'm just trying to fix this right now.
Like the USB that won't work because the extension cord will pull from the top. Yeah, I understand what you're saying and place it on top of the, yeah, that's not gonna stay still.
It's fine right now.
I'm gonna get some kitchen towels right here.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're talking about. Like what needs to happen is a longer charger.
At least it
So
is
that way
working
it can
and
never run
recording, but
out.
I see no interference issues. Sounds fine.
That's right next to
Oh, hi, Christopher.
Huh.
on the island.
Christopher is right in the scene. Oh my God. Christopher Hunter Calvo. Christopher Hunter Calvo. Come up here, right here. Hey, here we go. Come here. No. Hey, let's go. Inside, inside. Let's go. Look at you. All right, they're about to, come on. Hey, all right, let's get a good boy. Thank you. Go inside and here, here. I'm gonna throw these there, so. Thank you, Christopher.
See it.
All right. I think the title should be, these steaks should be legal, not steak two ways or whatever. Like the title of, like these steaks should be illegal. What? These steaks should be illegal.
When you walk over there, out of range.
You're kidding. Well,
And then it like messes it up.
so is there a way to put that closer to here? Like the antenna closer? No. Like that entire white box. Like put it in the middle of there? No?
Turn off everything. Move everything towards over there.
Only because I have to work out of the oven. It's like a thing. Unless it just goes out for a little bit.
I can figure this out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's simple as changing the
Ah.
You don't have to take it off, just give me the box.
Oh.
See it. No, off. Hold
Okay.
that. Something cut off there. Very side.
3, 2, 1. We are talking about New York strips today. New York strips and steak arrachera.
Can I see the box, please?
Yes. Oh boy. Here.
So I found out what this does. This cuts off the noise of any wind. So with this on, you won't hear. I won't
Nice.
hear that.
Okay.
Other than that, I need to find out why it keeps cutting off.
Perfect. Oh my God. Then let's remove this as well.
What you want to see? That's what it looks like.
Boom. Okay.
But I can do this. Like
All right. Do this. Tch. I am excited for these tacos. Excited for tacos. You let me know when we're ready to start.
honestly, it
Huh?
it cuts in and out. Not all the time. Like right now it's good. But there's certain things that are triggering it. When I change the setting, it's gotten better.
Okay.
But something is like if it ever goes out, I'm gonna have to tell you cut. Say it again,
Okay.
you know.
All right.
It's plugged in for sure, like,
You want to check? Now, is there any way to improve audio here? What's the
This is supposed to be a really good thing.
what's the game plan?
This is supposed to be a really good thing. Like this is what everybody uses.
Oh, okay. So then where's the issue then? Why would it go out if we're just like right here?
So we're using radio signals, and anything could be cutting it out. I've noticed that when you go away,
Oh yeah, but now let's say I'm right here. But
anything could be cutting it out. But I don't have to fix it.
okay. Now for the close-ups of the pan, we're just using another phone to go over there?
I guess so, yeah, for socials.
Right.
You're making steak two ways. What are the two ways you're making them?
We're making steak two ways. One is a New York strip that we're going to cook in tallow, which is the beef fat, right? And then we're going to get a really nice crust on that, and we're making cowboy butter. Cowboy butter is a super flavorful compound butter, garlic, herbs, but it's going to want to lick your screen. It's an easy butter, but it's highly, highly irresistible. Anybody can make it. But if you're grilling up steaks, whether you're outside in a fire pit, in a barbecue, out on the beach, you're out camping, or you're grilling indoors with a grill pan, this cowboy butter is a winner. Everybody's going to love it. And then we're making steak arrachera. We're making steak tacos. Arrachera really just means either skirt steak, ribeye, or flank steak, but it's marinated in this super flavorful like liquid with citrus and cilantro and chilies and beer, okay? Think your favorite street food tacos, okay, to level 10. We're gonna make it super easy, but super delicious. So it's maximum flavor, steak done maximum flavor style. So, what do you think? Look, it's like he knows, he's talking. Huh?
You only cut out one time there.
Okay. When did?
Start saying cowboy butter.
But you see, I'm standing in the same place.
Yeah.
Now, is it if other people's phones in here are on Bluetooth? Does that interfere?
This is a video. You see it again? I'm gonna change to another channel.
Okay.
Maybe the next change to will be it.
Okay.
Okay. So Adrian, tell me a little bit about the feedback you got from the first stream, or watching it yourself. Any kind of like anything that you got.
Let's talk about steak.
You want to talk about steak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Because we're live, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, or let me know, when are we ready? When are we ready to actually start filming social? Because.
We're ready to go, but I'm gonna have to tell you if we're cutting it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just mean for social, so that we can get, like right now, I'm gonna need a pan of the steak.
Yeah.
Should I be, here, I got you.
I'm gonna get that now.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get you to talk about something so that I can hear if it's cutting in and out.
Wow. Hey, I don't have the chat up here though.
I can go fix that.
And Egg is messaging me. I can't, this is, oh my God,
What?
craziness. Just craziness. Whew. All right.
Is there?
Okay. Okay. So. Okay. So. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yes, exactly. I'll hold it. I'll hold this part for you. No. Uh-huh. Go ahead. Beautiful. Exactly. Yep. Now, the top, and then come up like this. Perfect. That's it. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about New York strip, guys. So when you're sourcing any cut of steak really, but particularly here, we're talking about New York strips. You want to really, for this colorization, light yellow, that means it's fresh. Bright red center, like so. This means that the meat is not oxidized, very fresh from cutting. If this were to sit out for just a couple of hours out in ambient temperature, you're going to start to see it turn gray or a shade of purple. Now, you want these little white specks around here. That means marbleization, that means fat. And as it cooks, this tenderizes the meat and adds flavor. Now, when I cook New York strips, I'm looking for that inch cut, because when you slice it, you get the best of both worlds. You get enough space to create a beautiful crust, and then you get enough space in the center of the steak to play with the temperature of your liking. So if you're somebody that enjoys your New York strip medium rare to medium, like myself, you're gonna have enough time on the cooktop to get that beautiful crust, and you're gonna get that desired temperature. If I was to get something too thin, you're gonna go well done way too fast, right? So important to let your steak rest for at least an hour outside before you cook it, because what that does is it relaxes the muscle, right? If we go from refrigerator temperature or just cold temperature and we put it in a pan or we put it on the grill, you're gonna get something that's really tight. Same thing that happens to us if we get in cold water or an ice bath, you kind of tense up. That's what happens to our steak. If it's nice and warm, you loosen up. So we're gonna start with a little bit of kosher salt. I like to use kosher sea salt, and you will see here that it adds texture already, okay? No, so stay away from that iodized table salt, okay? So we're gonna press that onto the meat, like so, okay? And then we're gonna hit it with a little bit of freshly ground black pepper, and as you see, I'm being very generous with the seasoning because that's going to permeate here. And some of it's going to stay in the pan. If you're grilling outside, some of that's going to fall on the grill. So we want to make sure that we're seasoning it properly. Okay. Now we're going to flip that on its side. We're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. Okay. Remember, the center of your meat does not come seasoned, so that's why we want to season generously. And whatever's left here on your surface, I like to press it onto the sides as well, okay? So we're gonna let that rest, and we're gonna get back here, and we're going to get a hot steel pan. Stainless steel pans, guys, they make for a really great crust. Cast iron, same thing. They make really great crust for any type of chop, whether it's a pork chop, whether it's any cut of steak. Those types of pans really enable heat transfer to be really, really nice and even. Okay, that is perfect. Okay, okay, so I'm going to get my pan nice and hot back here. Oh, let's actually get fire. We need a lighter. There's no lighters here. Let's see if any of the burners work, and we're going to use Christopher now. Never mind. Okay, old restaurant trick. Light this up. Okay. Yeah, old restaurant trick. You light up parchment paper, paper towel with another burner, and then you turn on the pilot. Okay, so I have here some beef tallow in my pan, and we're gonna let that get really nice and hot. Okay, so while that's working, let's talk about cowboy butter. We got here some grass-fed butter, unsalted butter, lemon juice, garlic, Christopher. You've got some fresh parsley, fresh thyme, a little bit of salt and pepper. We're going to hit it with a little bit of paprika, chili flakes as well, Dijon mustard, and we're going to blend that together. And it's going to be the most outrageous, delicious butter, you're gonna wanna lick your screen. Cowboy butter doesn't just have to go with steaks, by the way. Although, obviously, it goes fantastic with steaks, but you can add it to your pork chops. You can add it to some grilled fish. Fantastic with shrimp or lobster tails. And I even like it with, like, let's say a roasted cauliflower. That's gotta be super delicious. So, oh, we're gonna get another pan hot right next to that. Actually, I'm gonna work with this one. One more paper towel. Oh, he got the lighter? Perfect. Okay. Whew, okay. We're cooking with gas, people. Okay, so we're gonna throw in our butter. We're gonna melt that over. We don't wanna brown the butter, so let's go over low heat. I'm gonna add 3 sticks of butter. Cowboy butter, we can make this up to, let's say 5 to 7 days in advance. You could store this in the fridge and just bring it out when you want to. Okay. So I got a trick for you guys. Your citrus, throw these in the microwave for 20 seconds. You're probably like, what? Microwave my citrus? Yes, because you're gonna yield more juice out of it and not have to like kill your hands or in a press or take out a fancy juicer. You don't need to do any of that. All right, when the pan is nice and smoking like this, we're gonna lower the heat, but we're gonna get our steak on there. All right. There we go. Now, we're not gonna touch it. It's going to stay there for at least 2 to 3 minutes to create that crust. No moving. Do not move your steak. Okay. We're gonna let that cook. Okay, back to our lemons. Yes, that's gonna go in your microwave. No, I'm not an advocate for microwaving like everything or really pretty much anything, but for citrus, it works. Okay. Let's clean our work surface here. Okay. So now I'm going to mince some garlic while that works. That is great. Okay, so I have here some garlic cloves. I have here about 10 to 12 garlic cloves. We're going to give these a rough chop at first, and then we're going to add some salt to it because that abrasiveness from the salt really helps you get really the most flavor out of the garlic, but it helps you in the mincing process as well. The abrasiveness makes it easier. It stops sliding around so much. All right, this is looking good. Oh. Okay. Here we go. Now, you can get these as small, like meaning mince, or chop, as you like. If you're not working with peeled garlic cloves, that's another thing. You could throw a garlic head in the microwave for 20 seconds as well, and the peel comes off easily, instead of sticking all like on your fingers. That's yeah.
Can you move it underneath the surface? That's nope. To the left of the book, right there. That's your center thing.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so this is about as finely chopped as I would like it. Now, do not. I mean, This is my opinion. I know that you can buy minced garlic already out there, but no, because as garlic sits, even if it's just for a little bit, the natural sugars start to come out. And instead of getting something that's very flavorful and zesty, you get like this sweet product, and it's just not what makes you love garlic. It's not garlicky to me. It takes on a flavor of almost like a sweet onion. All right, but now we can check the crust on our steak. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. So we're gonna flip it on the other side. Okay, and we're gonna let that work for another 2 minutes. Meanwhile, oh my handy dandy scraper. If you guys watched, where's my scraper? We're gonna need this later. If you guys watched the stream the other day, you're gonna see that I talked a lot about this scraper, because if you're working from your cutting board, any type of work surface really, and you're transferring ingredients or you're just cleaning up your board, this tool here makes it so much easier. This is gonna go into the butter that's slowly melting there. Okay. I don't want to leave any garlic behind. Okay. That's going to go in there. And this is going to go into the sink. Okay, so next thing for the cowboy butter. Actually, our steak is ready. So now this fat cap that we have here on the side, I do like to render that off just a bit. Kind of seals the steak in on all sides, right? Turn off the heat. Now you don't have to do this, but I like to work with a little sheet pan that it's elevated. So if you can see here, I have a little rack in there. And what that does is that it allows like the convection, or pretty much all that hot air that's in the oven, to go on all sides of the steak. So you're not sitting on anything particularly, so it won't steam it or continue to directly cook something like your actual cut of beef. So allowing that air to circulate is gonna make for fantastic, even cooking. Now it's gonna go into the oven. I got it to almost 500 degrees, but anything above 400 degrees is going to really cook your steak beautifully. All right, so now let's get our fresh herbs going. Here we have thyme. You can use dried thyme if you can't get your hands on fresh thyme. Dried thyme works, but just don't use as much because dried herbs are a little more pungent than fresh herbs. Okay. So whatever I don't get, I save for later for broths and stocks and stuff. Okay, so I hold it at the tip and I pull back. This is how you take the little like flowers out of or florets out of the thyme. Here we go. Push back. Okay. Like so. Now we're going to use parsley as well, so fresh flat leaf parsley, not curly parsley. Curly parsley really is simply for decoration for those that actually like curly parsley. Flat leaf parsley is what we cook with. Okay, so I think we're good here on the thyme. There we go. Okay, so that's small enough, but I'm going to give it a quick chop. I don't want to get too many leaves together for more like even flavoring, or if somebody just kind of dips it into the butter, I don't want them to get like a big bunch of thyme. Okay, so let's get our thyme into the cowboy butter. Now, flat leaf parsley. I like a lot of parsley in this butter, not just for the flavoring of it, but like it just looks beautiful in it. And that herbaceousness wakes up and kind of cuts through the richness of the butter as well. So I'm gonna bunch this up as tight as I can. Stems are okay, but if you get to the thicker part of the stem, you can pull it up. But believe it or not, most of the flavor from the parsley comes from the actual stem. So we're gonna chop it up like so. As soon as you run your knife through it, that smell hits you. Perfect. Now, some people like to put their parsley or their fresh herbs in a damp paper towel. They roll it and it helps them chop it faster. But flat leaf parsley is pretty easy to cut when you bunch it up in your hand like we just did. Okay. I think, here we go. I think we're good here. Scraper time. Scrape and into our cowboy butter it goes. Perfect. I'm going to throw some of that tallow from the steak into here because that's delicious. Christopher. Okay. Let's move our, thank you, Christopher. This is when you have a really enthusiastic golden retriever behind the scenes. He's a foodie too, people. Okay, so, let's mix this up here. Oh, smells fantastic. We're gonna add a little bit of salt to the cowboy butter. And add a little bit of, about a, let's say, a half a teaspoon of crushed chili flakes. Yeah. Not this. Let's go with about a teaspoon, yeah, of smoked paprika. Oops, here we go. And, whoa. About a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Wow, that went everywhere. Okay. Then lastly, we're gonna, wow, that was a whole lot of mustard. Let's clean that up because you can't work dirty. You can't concentrate if it's dirty. Okay, that works. Okay. Now, let's roll it. And you could see already like how juicy it is. Look, I'm barely squeezing it and you could see the juice already coming out of it. I try to take out some of the seeds if I can. Yeah. See? You see how juicy that is? That's from microwaving your citrus just 20 seconds. Okay. Now, that's going to go right into, squeeze that through my fingers. Okay. Here we go. We're going to get the juice of, oh, whoa, the juice of one whole lemon into here. Perfect. Well, we got so much juice out of that, we don't need two. We'll save that for the next recipe now. Okay, so we're gonna give this a nice mix. You could smell, the garlic, the lemon. Wow. Okay, we're gonna let that come up to just about medium. Once that's mixed together well, we're going to set that aside. This is so, so delicious. Okay, that's it. Turn that off, let that sit. All right, our steaks are about, let's look at, our steak is about 2 to 3 minutes. So let's start on our next one, our next dish. Have you heard of breakfast steak? This cut is called breakfast steak at either your local butcher shop or grocery store. Breakfast steak refers to a couple of cuts. It could be skirt steak, it can be ribeye, or it could be flank, okay? Now, looks beautiful, like so. It's about a 1/4 inch thick, which is perfect for these arrachera tacos that we are going to make. Okay. So we're gonna start off with these beautiful cuts here. Okay, and I'm going to slice them on a bias about, let's say, about a 1/2 inch thick, okay? Now you can stack this up.
Okay, turned off.
Oh,
Vicky?
That one turned off. Okay, it's back.
okay. So I'm going to cut these into 1/4 inch slices on a bias. And we're going to add this to our bowl. Okay. Now, cutting them on a bias helps if you need to cut against a grain, especially if you're working with flank steak. Same thing for skirt steak. Ribeye, not so much, because ribeye is just naturally tender any way you cut it. Okay. Okay. Now, again, for those of you just joining us, arrachera refers to the cut of steak for these tacos, which is skirt steak, flank steak, or ribeye. But the style that we're doing, the marinade, I think this is like the best of street, like just think Mexican street food, street tacos. Ugh. We're gonna add, this marinade has so much flavor. It's gonna have fresh cilantro. It's going to have a little bit of fresh chilies. I'm using jalapenos. You can use serranos. Serranos are a thinner version of a jalapeno, and sometimes I think because they're thinner, they're more concentrated. But if you've ever had a serrano, you know that it's slightly spicier than a jalapeno. So if you're using serrano, I would definitely use a little bit less. Okay. Let's wipe down our surface. Okay, so we are going to add orange, okay? The juice of 1/2 of an orange. Okay, takes out the seeds if you can. Okay, now I want the flavor of the actual zest and all, so I'm gonna put a couple of pieces here after I juice it. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it in there. Okay, next, lime. Okay, we're going to squeeze lime in there as well. Perfect. And I also want that, the outside, right? I want some of that zest. So, oops, slipped. Perfect. This. So if we have equal parts lime and orange, we're going to get the flavor of sour orange, which it could be found here in Miami. But I don't think sour orange is easily sourced in other parts of the country. But that's like an insider secret. If you do equal parts orange and lime, you're going to get that flavor of a sour orange. Okay, so now we're going to cut up, let me see, yep. We're going to cut up jalapeno. I'm going to use this piece later. So this piece that I don't really necessarily want to use in the rest of the recipe, I'm going to use it now. Now, I just removed here, if you saw, I rolled out the end of the jalapeno, and I'm keeping this part. What I took out is the center, the seeds, and what they call the vein. That's where the spice is really at. If I was to put all these seeds in there and the vein, you're gonna have a spicy dish. If I just put this is the outside, the flesh really, you're going to get all the delicious flavor of the jalapeno and not so much of the spice. If I was cooking just for me, all of it would go in there, all of it. Seeds, veins, all of it. Actually, that's not enough for what I want, so we are gonna put this in there. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. See that piece? That's gonna go out. I'm rolling, and I'm holding my knife along. Oh, that's perfect. See? Veins, seeds to the side. I'm gonna chop that up. That's gonna go in there. All right, this goes to the side. Now, some cilantro. We're gonna have some later as well, but this is just for the marinade. Give that just a rough chop, not a mince, just a rough chop. That's gonna go in there as well. Okay. So in this marinade so far, we've got our breakfast steak, also known as arrachera, also known as ribeye, skirt steak, or flank steak. We got two types of citrus. We have here orange and lime. We have fresh cilantro and a little bit of jalapeno. I'm gonna pull out my New York strip and let it rest. Guys, this is sizzling with deliciousness. Okay. Oof. You see that? Yeah. Oh, on the board? Okay, let's switch this out here. Okay. Huh. That New York strip is beautiful. So when we're, let's talk about resting your steaks. Before slicing any cut of steak, this is not just for a New York strip, okay? Whether it's a filet mignon, a ribeye, a porterhouse, a tomahawk, whatever. You want to make sure that you rest your steak for a minimum of 10 minutes to 15 minutes. And what that does is it allows, again, all the juices that want to ooze out of, they're eager to ooze out of the steak. But you did your great job searing the steak, so they should be kind of, you know, enveloped in there, right? So when it sits, it relaxes, and all those juices that want to just ooze out onto a plate or your cutting board, you're going to retain them. And that's going to make for the most juicy, tender, ever so delicious steak, right? So when you cut, it's glistening, it's soft, it's juicy, but you won't get that unless you rest it. So when you have a rack, also the resting is spectacular. If you let it rest on a solid surface, you're gonna create steam, and you're gonna just like, you're gonna steam the bottom of your steak. So, turn it around. Thank you for not touching that, because it's, here, let me help you. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. So beautiful. You see the crust on that? A lot of people are like, I can't get the steakhouse crust. I can't get the steakhouse crust at my house. And I'm like, oh, because you got to work it like this. You need hot pans. You need a nice salt and pepper crust. You need to let it rest. You need convection heating. All those things make spectacular crust, but they can be achieved at home, as you just saw. Okay, I'm going to let that steak rest right behind me while we continue our arrachera marinade. Okay. Orange, lime, cilantro, jalapeno. Okay. Ah, yes. A little bit of light soy sauce. Okay. We're going to add about a quarter cup for this amount. Okay. Umami. That noise usually makes people smile. A little bit of salt, black pepper. No, guys, the beer's not for me. We're going to add about half of a beer. Half of a beer goes in. Okay. I'm going to let that sit. Okay. We're not done yet. I'm going to need to add some garlic to this. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab some garlic. Actually, I'm going to use this. Ah, got cilantro in my hand. Okay, so we're going to give some garlic a rough chop as well. Same thing that we did for our cowboy butter. We're going to add a little bit of that salt to our garlic. Makes it easier for our cutting, and it also extracts the flavor from the garlic. Remember, salt pulls away moisture, so this is what we want with our garlic. Okay. Okay, this is good. This is good for our marinade here. Perfect. Okay, so, oh, that is so delicious. This smells so delicious. Okay, so this is going to sit off to the side here while we make our salsa verde. Does anybody want to kill this beer? Okay. Do I have one more? Yeah.
Lillian says you're the best.
Who?
Lillian.
Lillian. Hi, Lillian. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. We're going to peel these. These are called tomatillos, guys. They kind of look like a green tomato, but they're not a green tomato. They're a tomatillo, and they're the foundation of our salsa verde. Okay, we're going to peel their paper. Look, it kind of looks like a paper mache thin. You could roast them in their actual paper, but they don't impart flavor, so we'll just peel them. Okay. Okay, so we're going to cut these in quarters because we want to actually quick roast them. If I do them whole, they got to roast for a longer amount of time, but we want it quickly. Let me grab a bowl. Okay, so this goes in. Grab some garlic. The entire butternut squash container just fell in the fridge, so if I open it, everything's gonna fall out. Whole garlic cloves go in. All right. Sweet onion. When you cook with sweet or yellow onions, right? And when you're making like a salsa or our topping, that's going to be a little bit of onion and cilantro. Traditional topping for tacos, you use white onion. Okay. Oops. So we're going to cut this in quarters. Okay. That goes in. That goes in as well. Green onion. We're going to take off this piece. We're going to save that for after. And then we're going to use almost almost to the very end. Those we're gonna discard, put them to the side, cut them to about 1.5 inch pieces. That goes in as well. Okay. Jalapeno. Take off the top. Now, I'm gonna do the same thing that we just talked about. I'm gonna kind of roll it, remove the seeds, remove the vein. Let's leave a couple of seeds here and there. And that's gonna go in. I'm gonna cut that in half as well. That's gonna go in, okay? Now here we have the base for our salsa verde. A little bit of olive oil, just to coat. We're gonna season it with a little bit of kosher sea salt, black pepper. In culinary school, they teach you have to season everything with salt and pepper. Nothing comes seasoned, okay? So everything must have a little bit of salt and pepper. Just gonna toss this around gently to make sure it gets coated in the olive oil, okay? Now I have the oven preheated to 450 degrees and we're gonna put this on a sheet pan with a rack as well. Like we were talking about with the steak, we don't want it to steam. We want it to roast all the way around, okay? So, okay, let's go to degrees, okay, for a few minutes. Oof. All right, so now we're gonna clear the board and it's time, the time has come. The time has come to try the steak with the cowboy butter. Let's clear this up. Clear the stage, people. Let's clear the stage. I've been touching jalapenos all morning. Somebody remind me not to rub my eyes. Or anything else. Here we go. Okay. No. Oh my God. Let's hope it doesn't come out too mustardy. No. Okay. Now, what do I want here? Do I want, yeah, that's what I do. I'm going to use the rest, I'm going to use the rest of the, or just a small amount of those green onions, and I'm going to add this as a finishing touch to my cowboy butter. Okay? This, guys, in culinary school is called a chiffonade. So when you thinly slice something, whether it's basil or scallions, or also known as green onions, chives, it's a chiffonade. If it was basil, you kind of lay the leaves one on top of each other, and then you roll it up like a tobacco. All right, that's gonna go in there. That is, okay, that's enough from there. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Now, when slicing steak, what's important? You need tongs to hold your steak in place. I mean, you can use your hand, but if you're dealing with a warm steak, you don't want to do that. And then you need a nice sharp knife, okay? Now, there we go. Oh, boy. Are we ready? So, start here. We're going to square off our steak. We're going to put that to the side. We leave that for the family members or friends that like those end pieces, okay? Set that to the side. And then we're going to start making, let's see, 1/4-inch slices, okay? Now, because we seared that fat, this is a beautiful thing, guys. Because we seared it, it's not like white and gummy on the side. It's almost like fat candy, okay? So I'm gonna cut that off because some people really enjoy that piece, okay? So we're gonna continue slicing all the way down the steak. Oh, perfect, okay. So as far as quality steak, you want to make sure that you're buying Black Angus, choice, or prime. And then you could get fancy if you like. You can go into Wagyu, you can go into so many other cuts, but prime or choice is where you want to be at, and you want to make sure that you're getting Black Angus as well. All right. I'm going to cut that little piece of fat off. Oh my God, that's just so beautiful. Okay. Now, before we put this on a plate, I'm going to dip this. Let me see. This is the one that I really. I'm going to dip this into the cowboy butter. I hope. Is your mouth watering as much as mine? Okay. Yeah. Oh my God.
Can you move the cowboy butter in frame for the phone so we can see it all in there?
Where? In here?
Yeah, right there is good.
Okay. So this is just getting this delicious maximum flavor bath. Oh my gosh, guys. Look at that garlic and the herbs. Let's try this. Okay, going in. I'm going in. Wow. Huh. Wow. Just wow. This cowboy butter's a thing. Wow. I'm not going to double dip here, but this deserves a double dip. Yeah. Okay. Woo. Okay. I forgot I was going to plate it on that beautiful plate. Hold on. Wow. Now, how do we... Got to do what you got to do. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this on our plate like so. We're going to fan the steak. I love this type of plate for a steak. Here we go. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to, let me wipe that puddle of deliciousness that's next to the plate. And I'm going to pick up those little side pieces and the fat and my own piece. Let me put that away.
Phone cam.
Huh?
Never mind.
Huh? Okay, so now I'm
Hold on,
going.
man, Kim's down. There you go.
Okay. So now what I'm gonna do here is spoon this cowboy butter right down the center of the steak. And by doing it on the center, it's going to ooze out evenly. Oh. Out, oh my goodness. Oh, guys. What are we even talking about here, guys? Huh. This is a beautiful New York strip, perfectly seared in beef tallow, and this outrageously delicious cowboy butter. Anybody can make this at home. Again, just a few ingredients, well, hold on, a few great ingredients, full of flavor. We've got garlic, Dijon mustard, lemon, flat leaf parsley, some paprika, smoked paprika, okay, green onions in there. It all comes together in what they call cowboy butter. This butter, it should be legal, okay? But I encourage you guys to make this cowboy butter anytime you're making a steak. Doesn't have to be a New York strip. You can use it on a porterhouse, a T-bone, filet, I mean, skirt steak. It's just a delicious compound butter. And if, you know, fun fact, if you don't want it on steak, grilled fish, this is gonna go spectacularly. I mean, over the top on any type of grilled seafood. Shrimp, lobster tails, fantastic topping for it. So basically, the message is make cowboy butter. But if you're gonna do it like me, do it on this beautiful New York strip. Super easy, super delicious. This should be illegal for sure. All right, let's set that aside. It's time to work on our arrachera. Okay.
Somebody said, Chef, you better bring that cowboy butter to the restaurant next weekend.
Ha, for sure, cowboy butter. I have to talk with the team over there, but we do these fantastic, like roasted garlic butter, fried garlic butter on our steaks. Maitre d' butters. Classically, you are supposed to have a flavorful butter to enjoy your grilled steak. Oh my gosh, how do you like your steak?
Medium well.
No, you have to say with cowboy butter now.
Going to the vineyard to break the law with that illegal butter.
Oh my gosh.
Good.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay, now I want to get you, you're watching us, you getting it, it's like 3 vantage points here. Wow. All right. I think my tortillas came in. I can't move from here. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Love, just love. Okay. So I'm gonna use the same pan that we seared our New York strip in. So that's kind of cheating, but it's got really delicious seasoned beef tallow in it already. But if not, use another hot steel pan with beef tallow. Perfect, thank you. Actually, thank you. Actually, before we even get going, I'm going to grate our Oaxaca cheese, only because this step always gets me towards the end. I'd rather have this already grated and put to the side, because then I get super excited after, and then I'm like, oh, let's find the grater, let's grate the cheese. So we'll have this set to the side already. Let's talk about Oaxaca cheese. One of my favorite cheeses, period, right? But when we're doing tacos, it is my favorite cheese, end of story. Oaxaca is the mozzarella version. It's basically Mexican mozzarella. It's melty, it's mild, it's stringy, But really, the melty factor is beautiful on this cheese, and that's what you want when you're enjoying a taco or a quesadilla or a crunch wrap. This way? Okay. So we're going to grate it, like so. And if you were tuning into our last stream, I talked about grating cheese. If you can avoid buying already grated cheese, please do so because it's loaded with chemicals. What keeps your cheese separated and loose in these bags are chemicals. So it is worth taking about 30 seconds, investing in this inexpensive box grater, and doing it yourself. You're treating your body right. Okay, so we're going to put our Oaxaca cheese off to the side. Okay, I'm going to save the rest for quesadillas later. Into a Ziploc bag this goes. Let's check on our salsa verde. We're almost there. Okay. So for our arrachera, we want to make sure that we remove the meat itself from all the liquid before we go to our pan. But just, I'm going to smell this. Oh. It smells so delicious. Now, I did this here, just basically about 30 minutes ago. But if you want to do this overnight, you're going to impart more and more flavor. Okay, I'm going to do this just now because these are such bold and vibrant flavors that you don't need a lot of time. But obviously, the more time that it sits, the more flavorful it's going to get. So I'm going to set this. We're going to let this drip off here. Now, if some of the garlic or the jalapeno or the cilantro, stays on there, that's fine. That's going to get cooked into the meat. But what we don't want is all that liquid on there because it's going to just splatter. Okay, we're going to pile that on. Okay. You could squeeze it in your hands to kind of take out as much liquid as possible. Now, can you believe that some people, that liquid, okay, that's mixed with the blood, you know that they drink this as like a hangover cure? I know. It's terrible, but it's actually, it's not bad, Yeah, you got the chilies, and then you have all the aminos from you have all the aminos from the meat juices that sit there in the bottom of the pan. And really, they're getting cooked with all that acid that's sitting in the bottom. It's almost like ceviche.
Somebody asked, but is squeezing the liquid taking out the juices?
No, we're not squeezing it to where we're taking out all the juices. And this is a different cooking style than when you're cooking a nice thick steak. We are essentially, we're not squeezing out the juices in there. When we cook it, you're going to see that it is juicy. But what we're squeezing out is the excessive liquid that's in there. And most of the marinade, really. It's not really the meat juices. Okay, we're going to get this pan nice and hot. Let's light this up. Whoa. We'll get that hot. And then I like to buy organic flour tortillas. Texture is better. They're lighter. Beautiful. Let's make two. Okay. Oh boy. Actually, I'm going to bring over our salsa verde roast. Beautiful. So all of our ingredients are roasted off here. We have our roasted onion, we have our tomatillos, the jalapeno, green onion. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so these ingredients are gonna go into a blender. That's gonna go into the blender, nice and hot still. Now to these roasted ingredients, we are going to add fresh cilantro in there and fresh lime juice. Okay. That is beautiful.
It says producer Mike and the other young lady, get into that steak before it gets cold. You guys should enjoy it since we can't.
They're right. They're not wrong. Okay, fresh cilantro goes into here. The juice of one whole lime. So juicy. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna cover that. Let it rock.
One more time.
Oops. Gorge. Still steaming. Okay. I'm gonna set that off to the side. Our tomatillo sauce. Oh. Here we go. Now, in our pan that we had our ingredients on, I'm gonna throw in there, since our rack is nice and seasoned, our rack that we cooked all of our ingredients for our salsa verde should be nice and seasoned. I threw in the tortillas right on there. I'm gonna bring this forward over here so everyone could see. So this is the pan that we cooked in our salsa verde ingredients. We had on here garlic, onions, tomatillos, chilies, all of that. So I'm gonna throw our tortillas right on there. Okay, so they're gonna impart just a little bit of flavor, but that way you're using your equipment twice, so you're not, you're not washing a million things after for the same dish. And then I threw in here, on top of our tortilla, our shredded Oaxaca cheese. And just before, I'm gonna place that up there. Just before we're ready to serve, we're gonna put that in the oven so the cheese melts right onto the tortilla. Now, we're gonna get to our pan here and we're going to cook off our beef. We're gonna have to cook this in 2 batches. Okay. Okay. Wow. So we're cooking that over medium-high heat, I would say. We're gonna cook that for 2 minutes on each side. Meanwhile, I'm gonna do the traditional like taco topping, which is basically just white onion and cilantro. Cut that in half, take out the outer layer, set this aside for later. So, fun way to cut an onion, or faster way than just crazy, is once you cut it in half, you're gonna cut in 1/4 inch slices, almost towards the tip. Like you don't wanna cut all the way, you're gonna leave just a little bit there, and it holds the onion together. And then you cut slits across it, okay, almost to the same tip, and then you go down and you get all your squares. Okay, there you go. Now you can save $25,000 a year in culinary school. You're welcome. Okay, let's see where we're at. This is the color that you want. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna just leave that there. It's working hard. You know, when we first opened Chef Adrian's Vineyard Restaurant and Bar almost 19 years ago, and it was me and my same team for 13 years of it. So the way we spoke in the kitchen, we opened when we were 21 and 22, Chef Egg and I, and Bruce. Bruce was even younger. And we never learned, or we didn't know of like kitchen lingo because we didn't have previous restaurant jobs. So when we opened Chef Adrian's at the Palms 5 years ago, and our team got bigger, we learned this kitchen slang, like working hard, and we'll be like, hey, where's this dish, or this, it's working hard, in my hands. And we're like, what does that mean? I just mean I need an actual ETA on the dish. And they're like, working hard, chef. What? So now when, you know, now that this steak is almost ready to be flipped, that means it's working hard. Okay. Okay, so now we chopped up, rough chop on the cilantro. And then we mix that. This is the traditional topping that goes on all tacos, whether it's pastor, carnitas. It's simple, just white onion and cilantro. So if I'm having a taco party, I like to do this a couple days in advance, you know, and put that in the fridge. That's the look we want. Okay. Okay, we are looking good. Looking good, looking good. Now, let's wash our surface. Since our steak is almost done in the pan, this is a perfect time to get our tortillas with our Oaxaca cheese into the oven for just a minute or so to melt that cheese. Let's go. All right, in the oven it goes for just a little bit. Okay. Turn that off. go. Let's give this a taste. Oh, Vicky, I know you're not eating when I have these tacos. Okay, okay. Okay. Okay, we are ready. No, we're not ready. JK. I thought I was. Nope. What? Nope. Come here. Here we go. Do you guys know where the little wood things? Did I put them back there by any chance? I'm gonna put the pan here, so I need like a. Can you see if they're right there, just in case? Found them. Okay, just one. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Let's move this here because I want them to see what this is. Oh. Okay. You got, yep. So this goodness in the pan here, I want to make sure that I move the meat around because those good bits, since there was so much citrus in this pan already from the marinade, I'm deglazing the pan with its own juices. And that's all deliciousness there. We don't want that to stay in the pan. We want this to go right back into the meat. Okay. Yep, you see how all those parts are loosening up? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, how do I want to work? I think I'm going to work this way. You don't need this. I'm going to build right here. Now, oh. Now, I'm going to get that beautiful marinated beef, and that's going to go right into the center of my tortilla. Okay? That's been loaded with Oaxaca cheese, perfectly melted. Okay? Now, remember I was talking about those pan juices? I'm going to make sure that I put some of those pan juices into.
Oh, red can died.
Okay.
It's back, it's back.
Okay. I'm going to make sure that those pan juices go right into my taco. Okay. And now I'm going to get in my salsa verde that's been made with roasted onions, garlic, tomatillos, jalapenos. Oh my gosh. Fresh cilantro. That's going to get dolloped in there. And then the fresh onion and cilantro, that's going to add a different kind of crunch. And yeah, there's roasted onions in there, but fresh onions, that's a different flavor profile. And fresh cilantro is different, right? Then we're gonna give it that final squeeze of lime, wakes it up, and that's arrachera. Ah, okay, let's fold this over. Guys, wait, with the light. We gotta, close up is with the light. Here we go. Oh, Your mouth should be watering. If not, you gotta check if you're dead inside. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Dad, you gotta try this. Oh my God.
Get up there, try one.
No, come here.
Go, you can go on stream and try one.
Oh my God.
Why not?
It's so good. I almost want to cry. Where? I don't even know where I'm going. Oh my God.
Is it spicy?
No. Because it's not spicy because we seeded the jalapenos that we were working with and we took out the vein. Okay. I got to give you this one. Mike, this, try it. Just.
Give it a try.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm gonna try this.
Oh. The texture, oh my gosh. You're eating yogurt, so I'm gonna give you a break. Okay. I'm gonna put that off to this. Wow. Okay. Christopher. Christopher's like, where's my taco? I told you that he's a foodie, I told you.
Someone said, this ain't no Chili's
Ah,
fajitas. This is Mexican flavor tacos.
Oops.
There's a food truck coming.
oh my gosh. Okay, so for real, I've wanted to open up, I've been apprehensive, but I've wanted to open up a Mexican spot called Phoenix and Red. We did a short stint, we did a short run at Sunset Place for a while, and our taco line was so long. It was so funny. Okay, these two ways of cooking steak should be legal, guys. Bursting with flavor. Each of these highlights how these particular cuts could be really elevated or just really blown out of the water with their preparation. By the way, it's quick and it's so, so delicious. I made them 2 ways here, and you know, I don't have a whole lot of cleanup to do. And both ways are really fun for entertaining. This is perfect, like if people are coming over, you can have your meat cooking for like this taco party, have some beers in a bucket, have some chips and salsa on the side as people come in to just entertain, and you're just grilling up the meat. Everything else could be done ahead of time, like your salsa verde, your onion, and your cilantro. All that could be stored in the fridge and kept for the day of the party, and all you're doing is sauteing or grilling your beef when people come over, and it's a sight to see, and when they smell that, they're just gonna be over the moon with it. And as far as our New York strip and cowboy butter, super easy. That cowboy butter can be made days in advance, up to a whole week in advance if you want to. And if you want to do a little surf and turf, like I said, that cowboy butter goes super well with some grilled shrimp or lobster tail. So if you wanted to take that up a notch, pair some type of seafood with it.